Welcome to Loving God and Loving Life. We're in a new book today, 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians was written by Paul because after he wrote the first book, some false apostles, Paul refers to them as, some teachers who were not correct in their heart or in their doctrine, had come into the church and led the church away and also convinced the church that Paul was no good for them. Don't listen to Paul any longer. So Paul is forced into a position to get the church back on track where he has to defend himself a little bit. And how thankful these thousands of years later, how thankful we are that these people came against Paul, because what 2 Corinthians has been now for these thousands of years is the ministry book. This is the book that every minister, if you want to know the credentials, what makes you an authentic minister of Jesus Christ, 2 Corinthians is your book, because Paul has to reveal what is his authority, what does authorize him as a teacher and as a true minister of Christ. And what we're going to see in this book is amazing. What authorizes him as, first, it's the call of God for sure, but it's his sacrifice. It's not his wisdom. It's not his intellect. It's not his abilities. It's his heart. It's his sacrifice. And that's what he points to again and again. Well, along the way of Paul sharing this, we pick up some amazing nuggets. We read that Paul, the theme here in the first chapter is God comforts and cares for his people. And he's revealing to them just some difficulties after he left them. In this first chapter, he talks about he went on from Greece, he went to Asia, and there he experienced some amazing difficulty. And listen to what he says, though. He says here in the third and the fourth verse, Paul says, "All praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all of our troubles so that we can comfort others when they are troubled. We will be able to give them the same comfort God gives us." Now, in context, Paul's saying that when you're trying to help people, when you're trying to advance God's kingdom and help people, and you're going to come into a lot of difficulties, and in those spots, God is going to comfort you. And with the comfort God pours into you, it's just like Jesus said, by his wounds we are healed. Well, it's the same way. When we get wounded, if we'll keep following Christ, out of those wounds, the very things we don't want, will come our ministry. That's what those areas are what God fills and blesses us. So don't be afraid of getting wounded. God will pick you up. He'll give you grace. And where the exact spot where you were wounded, you'll become a healer. You not only healed yourself, but heal others. Let's get on that same mission Paul was on as we share God's good news. God, send us one person today to share your love with. Let's never forget, my friends, that it's in serving and loving God that we live a life that we just love.